Greetings, everybody. The garden is pretty much done. Just a few aesthetic things left. Um, so I'm just going to go in it and just talk to you. Pardon my manners. Greetings, everybody. Hope you're having a blessed day. I'm talking about how sometimes we can offend people and we're unaware. I am sure I have unintentionally. And so I'm just sharing this because we have to be mindful of what we do or what we say to people. Okay? You don't want to walk around on eggshells, but at the same time, you have to be cognizant of how we can be very loose with our words and how we can be very insensitive. Now, when I wake up this morning, I'm always giving thanks for the new day. And as I was giving thanks, some thoughts and memory came back to mind. And let me tell you, that it brought tears to my eyes to see how blessed I am and how all the struggles in life, you know, that bring me to this point is something that I can give thanks for. Okay? Now, what I want to talk about is it's a sort of like a story time. At a very difficult time in my life, my last child was born, and I've shared before that I had what was called a separated symphysis pubis, and so that means that I was unable to walk, and to this day still struggle. No one would really know that I still have that issue. I cannot come out of a car without assistance, or if I try to do certain things at home, it's difficult. If I roll over on my stomach at night, someone will have to help me up because it's hard to move back from my stomach to my back. Anyway, so yeah, it was a very difficult time for me. I had a newborn, and at the time, a 12-year-old child, and the way I raised my children, I don't try to force them to grow up too fast. So at 12 years old, there's not much you could do. Anyway, we find ourselves living in a basement apartment that was referred to us by a friend of mine who knew the guy who owned the house. And he was a very nice guy in some respects. But let me tell you, I guess in this country, when you're worried about bills, he'll make you do things. So he would turn off the heat. And keep in mind, my baby was very ill as well, as I've shared before, recently when she graduated, to say, wow, to see her walk across the stage for me was very emotional because, when she was born, the first year of her life, things were like up and down. And so we were living in this situation. I had to have people come into the household to assist me for a year to help me with laundry or whatever thing you need when you get this kind of nurse's aid or whatever to come in. It was a rough time, people. And at that time, there were times when I wish there was someone who would say, come spend the weekend with me. And I'm not the type of person to want to be into people's houses or whatever. I don't like going to people's home. But trust me, at that time, I would have gladly accepted an invitation, and none of them came. No one asked me to spend a weekend with them or, just to get out of that situation. So anyway, a friend reached out and told me that she had a conversation with her family and that her plans were for me to come to her house and spend a weekend. Remember, I didn't ask anybody. I was thinking, oh my gosh, honestly, I would do anything to get out of here just for some warmth because the place was always so cold. At one point, guys, I moved out of the bedroom into the kitchen because I would turn on the stove and leave it open. I would open the oven, turn it on. That's the only way we could really survive in that space, how it was cold. So she said that she spoke to her family with the intention of me coming to spend a weekend at her house. And she decided against it because she's not going to put her son out of his room. Now, I don't know what she was thinking, but I was saying to myself, You've got to be crazy. How do you say that to somebody who you think is going through a hard time? I was going to invite you to spend the weekend, but I decided against it. This is something you keep to yourself. This is not something you say to somebody who is going through a rough time. It is rude, it's mean, it's disrespectful, it's cruel, to be honest with you. So I'm not gonna drag this one out. I'm just saying to you, just be mindful of what you're saying to people, okay? And when you see people going through a hard time, if you have nothing to say, just shut the fuck up. Okay, excuse my language, guys. I cuss when I have to, and it still offends me to this day. All right, but it's not that I don't forgive or I belabor or harbor these bad feelings. They're there, and the reason why I'm talking it now and sharing it is because guess what? I have to cleanse my spirit. I don't want to hold any negativity because God is way too good to me. Just if you have nothing good to say to people, just shut up, okay? And when things are going well for you in your life and whatever, and you think things are not going well in other people's life, be mindful of what you say. Stay blessed, everyone.